Good morning, it's the 17th of July 2023 and we're going to go over my trading plan for today and a brief overview of what I want to see this week. On my chart at the moment is the ES chart, 1 day, or the MES chart, they're both the same. It's the 1 day time frame and I'm currently interested in this nice little top and tail we've got from Friday where we hit 45.60 and 50 cents, and today looks like it could be a bit of a bullish day. So I've got the daily open because I want to see where I think it might be heading, and we can see from, I've got my pen, we can see from this chart we do have this area here which is around 44.90. So that's a potential bounce area we can watch for. So 44.90, potential bounce on the daily. So I'm going to just put a highlight that. So 44.90. So potentially this week's pullback will bring us down to there. If we see more selling off, then we've got the 20 moving average, which is at 44.50 area, and then our next level is below 4,400. So we've got, if we do get a major pullback, then we've got this big gap fill as well, 4,300 to 4,330, but that's a long way off. So just based on the daily, potentially we're looking at 4,500 area, so psychological number, and obviously the 44.98. In fact, that's probably 4,500. That's the area we're really looking at, 4,500 on the daily. If we see a big push up, then we've of course got, we're putting in this higher high, slightly higher high, higher low. This could be another higher high and another low. That's why I'm looking at it to be 44.95 area for a potential bounce. Our next target area then will be 4,600 area, and I've got this entire zone which is a pivot going back a year and a half almost, and I think we've got, if I remember rightly, we've got a candle with a top and tail, so it looks a bit like that, and the line I've got in the middle, 46.05, is like my preferred area I want to get in based on the convergence of candles a year and a half ago. So that's what we're looking at this week. So let's go into the hourly time frame, and then button, let's clear that. So on the hourly we've got 4,500, so I'm going to fine tune that. That's the one I drew in on the daily, but I'm going to fine tune the 4,500, and I'm going to use the pivot, this pivot here, as a bounce point. So that's 44.98.50. So that's my first area I'm going to be watching for a bounce. We could have an area on this pivot here, and that area there, a bit of convergence of and it's also an area which I've drawn up as well, and that's from, must be going back that's a pivot from a year and a half ago as well, and it coincides with this pivot we've got here on the hourly. So let's just zoom in a bit so we can see. Yeah, so we've got this potential bounce area here, and the thing is, it's bounced twice already in the, that's at the post market on Friday, or in fact Friday's low was that area, and in the pre-market today it's bounced off that area. So maybe if we see weakness, it's below all the moving averages as well, so maybe we could see it break through this area and pull back. So what I'll be looking for, potentially I'm looking for a treble bottom for a move up, and I'll be using confirmation, so that would be a bottom tail is a really good area confirmation. I'll just show you. So zoom in. If you look on these candles here, this is what I'll be looking for. So we've got these two bottom tails, and then I can't really tell the volume, but then that's the confirmation I'll be looking at. Higher area of volume as well, based on this volume profile tool over here. So this orange line, and then as you can see it moved up, and so that's kind of what. And here we've got this bottom tail as well, but we've got these two selling candles. So at the moment, until we know whether we pull back to this area again, difficult to know whether we're going to break through it or we're going to reject or bounce off of it. So let's just zoom out. So that's I've not really done it, I literally just picked up the charts and set this video to live, so I've not even done my analysis, which I normally do beforehand. We have got this potential area here, which I'm going to mark up. And we're coming into that now as well, 45.35. I don't like it, it's not one, it'll be a very high risk scalp for a rejection or break and retest. So to confirm then, we've got this 4500 level I identified on the daily, which is down here, and if we do break below 4500, then I'll look for another area, and that'll be 44.75, 76 area, and that's based on these pivots. I've marked up, I've highlighted this area as well, potentially below the 4500 area. We've got this area of support now, it was resistance, and so we could see a bit of a bounce off of there. So to confirm for bounces, we've got 4500 as a higher probability bounce. We've got this pivot here, 45.25 as a higher risk but with confirmation bounce, and for rejections we've got 45.55, and obviously we've got the high from Friday, which is 45.60. So they're the areas I'll be watching today. And then obviously over the week then we've got the 4600 area as a potential rejection, major daily area, and we've got the 4400 area and the 4410 area. So I'm going to keep an open mind this week. I'm not going to have any bias. If the market wants to push up and then break and retest this area, then I'll be looking to go long 45.55. If we see a sell-off and weakness, I want to see it break down through this area, 45.20 to 45.25. Pick up an entry there for the next target down. I think that's it for the MES, and then going over to the SPY. In fact, I'm going to look at the Qs as well. So SPY, in fact I did do my market levels earlier. So we've got this area here for potential break and retest high, that's 450, which is a big psychological number, and so I'll be watching for potential long position up here. If we see weakness in the market and it gets below this 50 moving average on the hourly, then I've got these two lines marked up, and these are just areas of convergence. So we are looking at 44.47 to 44.47.90, 447.50 to 447.448 area. Again, that would be a higher risk bounce off of this area, but maybe if we are seeing weakness, it could be a break and retest of this level. And then we've got 44.24, which is the tops of these of this area, similar to the ES from the start of July. So that could act as a natural support area, and we might see a bounce back up. And if it fails that, then we've got another area, which is this pivot here, 442.60. So, and obviously the weekly wise, we'll be looking probably 435 to 432, that area here, for a major bounce back up if we see it come down. So to confirm my levels for the hourly, we've got a break and retest of 450 long. We've got a break and retest of 447.90, 447.75, that area at short. And then we've got potential bounces at 444.24 and 444.60. So these are the areas I'll be watching today. And then on the weekly, then we'll be looking at 435 or 432 for potential bounces. And one thing I want to note is if we do, same as on the ES, if we do break through this area here, we've got this big area of no man's land where there's no resistance or support at all. So if we do break down, we could see a big move down to 444.20. And if hopefully I'll be short on that move down, and that will be a nice reversal area. Okay. Oh, one last chart to look at, and that's the Qs, because I want to focus a bit more on the Qs because it seems to be getting quite good moves in every day, and I'm watching it, and maybe it's something we can capitalise on. So again, on the daily, we've got this nice possible top and tail, maybe a change of trend. So we've got a bit of movement, we've got a bit of space down now to fill this gap, and we're looking around 373 area, 373.80, the 370 area. So on the hourly, that would look like, here we go, already marked up. So we've got a potential rejection at 382.80, a break and retest at 378.22, or a bounce. We've already been down there once post, what was that, on Friday? That was potential bounce. If we do break through this 378.22 area, we've got a lot of big gap down there. Not a gap down, we've got a back in this no man's land area again, down to 374. And then we've got this big high concentrated area of volume at 364. So this will, if on the weekly trade or swing trade, we're looking at 364 for potential bounce back up. So that's kind of what I'm looking for as well. And I think that's it. Hopefully you have a good day trading, and I will speak to some of you today. Thanks for watching.